Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 4, Episode 52. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I am joined tonight by Mr. Crawford, Mr. Johnny Alfonso, and Mr. Matt Cundiff. And Ron Brown will be joining us in a little bit. Gentlemen, how are you this evening?
Doing well.
Darn good.
Doing great, man. Christmas week.
Oh, yeah. How, it's like, okay, working this week, I'm really finding it a challenge to even call it work, okay? Because it's like, being, and I'm sure it's true in a lot of organizations, especially in IT, you don't introduce any new software during, especially being in retail during, critical holiday periods. So it's like, really, it's kind of like really slows down at this time of year. Things doesn't have. So it's like, you're just like going through and getting reports done and just stuff. But yeah, it's going through that. And then of course, probably a lot of and I want to thank everybody for watching the replay last week. And I know quite a few of you did, which was great. And it was a good episode. It was an episode from a year ago and it was still kind of relevant. So thank you guys for watching that. I was enjoying my granddaughter and my daughter and son-in-law. Okay. And of course, okay, here's my son-in-law. Love him. Okay. He served he was a proud member of Ohio National Guard, served over in Afghanistan. He served in the same unit, and this was kind of cool, that my ex-father-in-law served in when he was called up and almost went to the Korean War, but it was the same unit. And when my ex-father-in-law passed away, he got his uniform and his medals and other things like that. So, and my son-in-law is a real historian as far as that things are concerned. So anyway, with all that being said, all right, you guys hang on here. It's in a box, but this is a Bill the RC Reviewer mug, and we're going to give this away tonight. And to 10 of you, okay, we're going to give away, not the case, but Bill the RC Reviewer, It's a Great Day to Fly stickers, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit more about this here in a little bit. I want to kind of talk about that. So first of all, want to go around and see what you guys are doing for the holidays. Marcus, what I know where you're going, but why don't you tell everybody here what your plans are, you and your beautiful wife's plans are for the holidays?
Yeah, so we're heading over to Newburgh, Oregon to my brother and sister-in-law's house. They've got a beautiful home up on a hill surrounded by vineyards over there just south of Portland. So so we're gonna have a Merry Christmas. We got a couple mountain ranges between us and there. So the driving might be a little treacherous, but we're gonna get her done. That's what I bought that Tahoe for.
Oh, right? I was going to say that four-wheel drive Tahoe come in real handy for sure.
You might need that four-wheel drive, Marcus.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Johnny, how about you?
Well, we'll be right here in my house here, for my family, and we'll have I think 13 or 14 of us, and traditional.
Wow.
We're doing turkey and I think some rib roast, and we do lasagna. So it'll be a feast with the kids, and of course my daughters both live close, and they kind of do their stuff with their in-laws that night before. So we'll kind of have the whole day to enjoy,
That'll be awesome. Maddie, what about you?
We do a tradition where we all the kids sleep at my parents' house Christmas Eve with all the grandkids. And then we end up at 5:30 in the morning opening gifts with all the children. But we've been doing it since I was a kid, since I first moved out. We've been sleeping over their house every Christmas Eve, and then we wake up all Christmas morning and have breakfast. So that's what we've been doing.
Wow.
That sounds like fun.
It is. That's pretty awesome. We're having, obviously, you guys know that, we had my daughter and son-in-law and granddaughter over for the past week, but traditionally, one of Valerie's siblings will hold a Christmas Eve, either dinner or brunch. We're having a brunch on Friday, and Valerie's whole family's coming over. And then for Christmas Day, we kind of got a little bit behind the eight ball. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not. Maddie may have heard this place. It's called Spinners, and it's over in St. Pete Beach, and it's a revolving restaurant. It's the only one in the state of Florida. It's 12 stories high, and your views they're incredible. But you got to book there at least a month to 2 months in advance. Otherwise, you won't get in. In fact, I couldn't even get reservations for Monday after Christmas. I was looking for it. So, yeah, it was packed up. So we're going to do the next best thing. our local Chinese restaurant. We're going to go out there and do the Christmas story thing and go have our duck, so to speak, on Christmas Day. Just something different. I mean, we could have made something, but I said no. Let's just go out and just enjoy the day. So
That'd be nice.
yeah.
Did they leave the head attached, Bill?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. But you know what? I know where they get their stuff. This was really funny. Val and I go over to Sam's Club all the time, okay? And there I am seeing the proprietor of the restaurant. He's there wheeling his cart through, getting all this stuff. And, I know where all his stuff comes from. It comes from Sam's. So at least I know he's getting some decent food, okay? So that's always a good treat.
Yeah, hey, Bill, I know one person on the panel is getting a drone for Christmas. I mean,
Whoa, who's that? Who might that
What are you
be?
getting, Maddie?
It's not me.
it's not me.
Not I said the cat.
I flew the SJRC F11 Pro S today. Does that count?
Marcus, just tell us Sarah's watching. That's okay.
I shared last night. I want to share with everybody. I finally got my DJI RC Pro, and I ordered it November 28th. Okay. And then, DJI says processed, payment accepted, shipping soon, all that kind of information. 5 days later, it's still in that same status. So I go on Twitter and I direct mail them and I say, hey guys, what's going on? And they said, well, it's kind of back ordered right now and you won't get it until December 12th. And I'm like, oh, all right. Okay. So December 10th, I get a notice that it's been shipped and it's been shipped by DHL. And I'm like, oh, DHL. I'm like, no, this isn't good. Because if you guys know anything about DHL, what happens with them is they contract all their stuff out in the United States, or most of it, to the U.S. Postal Service. Okay. And it's a total nightmare in trying to find things. All right. Well, here it is, December 10th. And then I'm looking and it's like December 17th and the status hasn't changed. So I go out and I direct message DHL U.S. customer service and they tell me, here's what DJI did. Okay. They got a deal where they had, I don't know how many, at least 1,000 in a bundle that they're importing through U.S. Customs, and there's only have to swipe it once. Okay, so and I'm trying to find the logic here, and I'm trying to understand this from their standpoint. And I'm saying to these guys, I said, okay, what's going on? Well, I pinged DJI again. And this was Saturday. It showed up on my doorstep Sunday afternoon. Okay. And $20 in DJI credit. I can buy myself.
There you go. So they rewarded you.
I can buy myself a propeller. I mean, hey, just have a big old time here. Have another propeller for the Mavic 3.
Maybe that's what Autel's going to do. They're going to send you like an extra set of props for waiting all this time.
Well, I think Autel was on Santa's naughty list. Okay. I think they're going to get 3 lumps of coal this year for Christmas.
Did you watch Ken's video today?
Or no, I didn't.
Yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah.
I got another video another email from them today. Right? You got it. Did you get it too?
No, but I saw somebody post something.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, what they said is, "Hey, if you want to order one, they're ready to ship right now. And by the way, yours is shipping soon." But we're just too busy to send you a tracking number.
Right? Yeah, that's what I thought was
shipping.
Maybe they really do have a drone coming out. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, and others have talked about this as well. But if they show up with an Evo 3 at CES, people are going to get so angry. They haven't even been able to ship the light and the nano, and then they're telling people they're coming out with another drone. I mean, this is who does this sound like, Maddie? Sounds like Hubson to me.
A little bit. Yep.
Gosh, it's just like, wow.
Well, maybe Santa has the drones. Who knows?
Well, I'm going to welcome some people in here tonight. Drone Views Media is here. Fly Zone Drones. Greg Pittman. Arco is in. Welcome, Art. Akarasho is here. Leonard Oglesby. Bill Thomas is in the house. Welcome, Bill. See who else we got. Michael Wright is here. Lauren is here. Flying in Flynn Media. Let's see. Fly Guy Merrill. Let's see who else. Adrian Mateo. Adrian, welcome. Glad to see you here tonight. Matt Bagwell. Who else we got? Scott Nadeau. All right. I think we kind of covered the gambit here. All right. Well, I said we're gonna watch a video tonight. Okay. Now it's not a drone video, so guys are gonna have to bear with me here for a second. But it was just this particular video. To me, it's too priceless not to share. And I've gotten from the powers that be, I have permission to go ahead and share this here. Now it does involve a radio control car. That I will tell you guys. So let's go ahead and I will share this.
Let's see it. Oh, wow. He's flipping it.
Is that your granddaughter, Bill?
That's her, yeah. Good job, Ellie.
She ran and hid. I don't want to.
Yeah, there's in the back there. Valerie got her all this stuff for Christmas, and I'll tell you what, Valerie had a home run with everything. She got her this little box, and it had these little dresses, and had a little fake crown and tiara, and all this stuff. And then she got this pop-up tent for her. It's like a princess tent. Okay, it's like she spent all the time. And you know what? It's the same kind of steel tension stuff that the landing pads are made out of.
Yep.
So it just
Every
popped
one
over.
of my girls. Every one of my girls have had one.
Yeah. Oh
love
my
them.
gosh. It was a real hit. Okay. And it was like, the other thing, what was on constant nonstop play on our DVR? Curious George's Christmas. Okay. And you know who, and this was amazing. You know who produced it? Ron Howard, like Imagine Entertainment. Ron Howard produced
Really?
Curious George's Christmas. Yes. And I also learned, this is something I learned last week. I never knew how many ways and different inflections you can say the word no. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
and it was coupled with another word. It was either mommy was either before or after the no. Okay. So it was very interesting. And the other, I'm going to toot my horn here for a second. Okay. The kids are telling me, she really likes a lot of different foods, but she hasn't tried pastas. We're having lasagna one night. All right. So she sits up and she doesn't want to sit in her chair. So she sits in mommy's lap. She eats all of my daughter's lasagna on her plate. Never had pasta before. Never liked it. Never wanted it. She gobbled, devoured it. I mean, it's gone. I mean,
Good kid.
Yeah.
Well, I say, Bill, the presents are only going to get more expensive every year, because then you get into laptops and iPads and phones. And
I know.
So enjoy those few years of toys are halfway reasonable.
This is the most stressful part of the year for me and my wife. It's terrible shopping for 5 children, and they're getting older. And now the Christmas lists are, like skateboards, but then you got iPhones, and then you got iPads, and then you got computers, and
Yeah, it really starts to get kind of pricey and everything.
I miss the toys, man.
It's
the
easy.
cardboard
It's
boxes.
easy when they, I think at that age, and they do have fun with the simplest little things too.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is why it's so nice. And it was not, talk about a perfect week to have them. It got up into the mid 80s last week, and it was some of the highest temperatures we've had here in the area for like forever. And then it took a nosedive yesterday, and today I'm sure Maddie's feeling it too. It was like rainy, dreary, barely got into the 70s today. But we had her in the pool. Okay. Oh my gosh. She's like a little fish in the pool. I mean, it was just, we had, but I was sworn not to show that video because, my daughter was in a bathing suit, and my wife was in a bathing suit. And that was one of those things that, well, if I want to see tomorrow, I'm not going to show that video. So that's how that deal kind of worked. Okay?
Yeah, I know. I get that same thing when I'm taking pictures of something. Don't post that, or don't show, it's while I'm thinking, a lot of you guys know who Jeff Voigt is, right? You've seen him. Has a great channel, or not really great, but he does a lot of professional photography from Annapolis. I've gotten to know him pretty well over the past few years.
anyway, his father, he was in the United States Air Force, and he actually was in the group that was the precursor to the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. Well, his father recently passed away. So if you could send Jeff a note of sympathy, I'm sure he would greatly appreciate that. He was very close to his father. And Jeff and I also got to be close because, he was Navy and my dad was Navy. So, there's Navy speak between us, and it was really hard for him, to have to go through this, and I dropped him a note, and he's just a great guy. So if you guys can drop a note to him, that would be good too. And also, if you can think of my son-in-law at this time, one of his Army buddies, who was in his late 40s, passed away from COVID.
Damn.
And that was pretty tough. He said, he had to fight a lot of health battles. He had to fight leukemia and overcame that, but he didn't beat COVID. And this was kind of tough news because, he told us this here the past few days. So if you can remember them in your thoughts and your prayers, that would be good here too. So
absolutely.
Anyway, all that's out of the way. It's like,
yeah, Jeff's in the chat. Yeah,
he is.
We blink in the years gone. Okay. It's just like, boom, and for good, bad, and indifferent. And, this is why I've always told my kids this time of year, just stop and be thankful. Okay. The old saying was, my parents, just be thankful you have a roof over your head, you sleep in bed at night, you have clothes, you got meals, that kind of thing. It's like a lot of stuff what we take for granted. And that's what I always tried to tell my kids while they were growing up, to let them appreciate things. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that we all as adults need to sometimes take a step back and be thankful for that kind of stuff. And I'm also thinking about it too, in terms of this year in drones. Okay. Because it was kind of a mixed up, crazy year in drones. And, a lot of wannabes came on the stage, and, we found out there were a lot more pretenders than contenders this year. We were, and I'll tell you what, hands down to me, was the Air 2S. Okay. Dollar for dollar, feature for feature this year, it's just a home run. It's just an absolute total home run. There was nothing even close. Now I'm pushing the Mavic 3 out because I'm considering that 2022 kind of material. Okay. The Air 2S, it does everything, and it does it well, and it's rock solid, and it's a great price, and it's just a doggone great drone.
It's the drone of the year to me.
Air 2S is unbelievable, And of course, y'all both have the Mavic 3, of course. So y'all are, just getting into flying. I know Marcus, you're.
I'm loving that drone.
Yeah, and I know Catherine Ray loves it, and everybody. It's going to be a great drone. Of course, it'll be. I think a lot of people eventually sell the Air 2S maybe and move up, and that's kind of my plan.
DC Rainmaker.
Yeah,
Rainmaker. Did you see that video today?
Oh yeah,
wasn't that something?
I don't understand how that happened.
Unfortunately, his Mavic 3 decided to commit suicide.
Yeah.
It flew. It didn't just
dead on.
Yeah, it flew straight into the trunk of a tree.
Dead on into a tree.
Really? I had to go watch that.
Like it was dead center of the freaking trunk. I mean, there was no swinging sideways. It just
it just said, "Goodbye, cruel world."
Said, "Hey, have a good ride on your bike, buddy."
Yeah.
That was rough.
So was he trying to track something?
Well, it hit a few branches first, and it started to sway off, and then caught itself, picked him back up on tracking, and then went to go after him. And when it went to go after him, it just flat out ran right into the tree.
Yeah. So Ray made some really good conclusions in that video. He talked about it, and what he feels like is that the software needs to be written into such. He said he's seen it before. So it hit a little ghost branch, right? Well, the drone recovered.
Sure.
But once it recovered, it was trying to then catch back up to him, and the APAS wasn't completely functional. And it wham.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real
tree.
That's definitely software with something like that, Marcus. You're 100% right.
Yeah,
I saw
it
that.
just glitched. It just something glitched in the software, and
it's like it ignored the sensor and just moved
completely.
Okay?
That's exactly
just
right.
Boom.
And that's got to be a bad feeling.
You need to see the video.
I'll definitely go watch it. Yeah.
You know when Alex, We Talk UAV does his crash tests and he runs his drones into the tree in sport mode? It's exactly what it looked like. Just straight shot.
I guess I don't watch that channel.
Marcus, there you go. You can pick up a few views. Just run that Mavic 3 into the side of the canyon.
Have you ever watched him, Marcus?
No, and I'm not going to either. I don't want to see people purposely.
He does crash
drones.
tests on all the DJI drones that come out. He puts he'll let it hover and he pours bottles of water over it.
Oh, that's just stupid.
And oh god, people love it though.
I know.
It
I do that with FPV drones. I do the crash test.
Well, DJI gives them two of each drone. So he takes one and does tests, but he takes another one and does the crash test with it.
I'd have to like disguise a Xeno or something and like make it look like a Air 2S or something, act like I'm crashing.
So what it sounds like to me, Maddie, is just like there's guys that make hit YouTube videos. They'll buy a really rare PS5 or something, and then they'll take a sledgehammer to it and just destroy it.
Yeah, wackos.
Just for the views. Yeah.
DJI seems to love them though, because they keep sending them drones.
Wow.
He gets early releases. He's an NDA guy. So
well, I mean, I would just say anybody could crash a drone. I mean,
it's mainly tests to see how it holds up to certain scenarios. That's pretty much it. Like he'll cut a couple of the props and see if it flies. I can't. Yeah. You got to look up. We Talk UAV crash tests. He does it on all of them.
Maddie? I mean,
He does it for entertainment purposes, just to see what the drone will do. That's it.
Yeah.
He's infamous for his crash tests.
He even goes further than Duranify.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, Duranify doesn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, that's just wow. I have no words for that. I don't know if you guys saw Geeks Vana. Okay, he put out a video, and it was like I think probably 3 or 4 days ago, where he was talking about Autel, and he said a number of places. Now I don't think they were here in the United States, but they said discontinued for Autel Evo Nano. I don't know if you guys watched that video.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I think Ken Dono explained that portion of it.
He explained it right.
Yeah,
right.
He explained it. There was issues with the skewing.
Right.
So what they did was to change the skews, the B&H is refunding their pre-orders, and pretty much what they're doing is refunding the pre-order people that had pre-orders and then kicking them to the back of the line. That's exactly what they're doing. So they're going to refund all the pre-orders and say, sorry, but you're going to have to reorder with a new SKU. And there's already people in front of them getting ready to do so. So now they end up in the back of the line is what they get up. Yep.
Well, I think B&H later said that they didn't intend for it to work like that, but evidently they changed the SKU that it did kick people refund their money or whatever.
Ken is they're doing SKU changes at DroneWorks as well, but Ken is keeping the pre-order lists for the people that ordered ahead of time.
Hey, so let me ask you guys as a group here, what are we missing that we're all rooting for a good, solid competitor for DJI. It's good for all of us. But so far, we're disappointed. And I love Skydio, but I'm even disappointed by Skydio because the drone doesn't fly as good as I would like it to with the controller. I mean, it's great for tracking, but it really isn't that fun to fly because of the controls on it.
Yeah.
And so when are we going to get a real competitor? And it's not Autel. And I'd like it to be Autel, but it's not, because they can't do things like they're doing right now with orders and so forth and be a real consumer products company. It's just so disappointing.
I don't know, man.
Marcus, that's an interesting question, because I've been in it now a couple years, and it's like, you keep trying to order something, and I don't really know at what point do you say, well, I really have the best drone that flies out there, so why do we keep punishing? I mean, you have a Corvette, but you wouldn't want to get traded in for a Vega, a Chevy Vega,
or a Porsche.
Oh, Porsche. There you go.
And-
But
and-
no, you know, I mean, we really do, and you know, people, you know, call the fanboys, but
and they
whatever,
wonder why.
But it works, and it says what it on a box. It does everything. I mean, look, DJI said with the Mavic 3, they was releasing you know, later updates in January. It came early. So what more can you ask for?
Even with all the problems with the Mavic 3, and I agree with most of what the critics are saying about
Right.
the Mavic 3. I love the drone, but I agree with their criticisms because they're legit. But it's just a phenomenal drone right out of the box, even with all those issues.
Sure.
And nobody else can even come close. And I don't understand why. I don't get why Autel, why did they announce a drone in that Nano in September? Why didn't they wait till it's ready to ship and then say, hey, look, folks, this is what we got, and put it out there? Because all they're doing is disappointing their customers.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough.
I don't think
I love
Autel's
that
ever going to
all that
catch up.
other-
I don't think they're ever going to catch up in the drone world when it comes to competitors against DJI. They're,
Okay,
you
here's
know,
the other problem, Maddie, and all of you guys. So what happens if we something happens with the FCC in that covered list, and then all of a sudden DJI drones or new DJI drones aren't available to us like they previously were? Who is the competitor then? Covered list. You know, all of a sudden DJI drones are new. Turn off that audio.
Mic
You know-
check. Mic check.
you notice, Marcus,
Hey,
we haven't
Ron.
heard anything about that.
Welcome, Ron. How are
Hey,
you
Ron.
tonight?
I'm doing well, Bill. Thanks for asking. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing great.
Good.
Doing good, buddy.
Good. I want to apologize to Matty. He kind of got buried in the queue last night, and I couldn't get you in time.
It wasn't your fault. I actually bounced out because I lost internet and I couldn't get back in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was in for the pre-show with you guys,
Yeah.
but then when you said you had 6 people on, I got thrown out because my internet crashed on me and I couldn't get back in. So it wasn't
Darn
your fault.
internet. Lauren's got a message for us. DJI had said that there would be an update in December and January.
Okay.
They've got work to do on that, Matt, and they're gonna fix it. They've never let us down before.
Hey,
They won't do it now.
Yeah, I heard what Marcus was saying earlier, and Marcus, I talked about this off air the other day. I said, just like Marcus said, all the criticism of the Mavic 3 about not having the, you know, all the software there, all the bells and whistles, you know, that's all fine. That they're all right. I can't say anything about it. But when I go to fly now, I have a choice of several drones I could take out with me. And even though I could take the Air 2S out that has every feature, every bell and whistle feature in the world, guess what goes out more?
Mavic 3.
Mavic 3,
Oh, I was
because
getting ready to say.
what it does well, it does better than any other drone I have. Flight time, signal strength, battery life, those things are undeniable. I mean, even the haters of the Mavic 3, they can't deny those 3 things I just said.
Mhm.
It'll be fine.
Well, for me, and one thing that a lot of people really haven't talked about, and I think that's where, I mean, I sold Ron his Mavic 2 Pro before when we were at the beach. Okay.
And my smart controller too, Bill.
And a smart controller as well, because of the low light capability. Well, I went out and I haven't put the video together. Obviously, I was a little occupied last week with Ellie, but I did some sunset flying and some. I mixed it up and took some pictures as well. The low light capabilities on this Mavic 3 are as equal to or maybe even better than the Mavic 2 Pro. Okay, and nobody's really been talking about that a lot, but I'm telling you, I mean, the detail, the clarity in this, it's just unsurpassed. And guys, it's just like, and I tell people this, okay, people are all bent out of shape, and we're all bent out of shape about the price on this drone. I mean, totally bent out. And I'm like, okay, here, I sold cars for a while. So one of my things was do a cost benefit analysis with customers to show them from last year's model, this year's model, what you're getting. Okay. And to justify the cost. And it's the same thing here. It's the same instance from the Mavic 2 Pro up to the Mavic 3, the differences in what you're getting with this drone. Okay. DJI is justified for that kind of an increase. Okay. They have to keep, people don't realize, because I majored in business. Okay. It costs research and development. Okay. It costs marketing. you have to spend money in these things. Okay. You cannot not spend money in these areas and be a successful company. Okay. You have to get out and get your product out there. You know, DJI already has that name out there, but they have to be like 2 or 3 steps ahead of what they're doing what others are doing all the time. Even though they really don't have that competition, they kind of self-sustain themselves and drive themselves. And Frank Wang's like that. I mean, Ron and I have talked about that ad nauseum. Frank Wang never has a rear view mirror in his car because he never looks backwards. He always looks forward.
Yeah.
Very true. Hey, I heard you guys just before I got on. You were talking about the the Autel disaster with the mini drones not coming out. But make the kind of circle this around to Autel a little bit. Bill, when you see most of the big channels doing those review videos where they're comparing the Mavic 3 low light testing, they're not comparing it against the 2 Pro. They're comparing against the Autel Evo 2 Pro because the Autel Evo 2 Pro is better than the Mavic 2 Pro low light, and it should be because it's a drone that's 2 years newer than it, so it should be. But that's the one that really gets tested against the Mavic 3, and the Mavic 3, you can watch those reviews. It's close, you know what I mean? It really is pretty close. At almost a 2-year-old Autel drone, it's still hanging right in there with the Micro Four Thirds drone drone from DJI.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you can tell and Ron said with Autel, he made a great point there. It's 2 years older than the Mavic 2 Pro. So yeah, it is, that technology had obviously advanced to that point. So, it's kind of neck and neck between the Mavic 3 and the Autel Evo 2 Pro.
Right. If you look at the camera in the Evo 2 Pro, Autel didn't save any money. They didn't go cheap on the camera. I mean, the camera is just as quality. You just look at the parts of whatever, the glass, it's just a piece of quality glass, just as much as anything DJI would put on the front of one of their drones.
Well, here's what I'll say though about Autel is, when are they going to show us as consumers some respect and keep some promises? We've been through that enough with some of the other drone companies, Fimi, Hubsan, etc. But, I expect more out of Autel because they're probably the closest one to being a competitor with DJI. And it just is a disappointment. That's all. It's I don't think they're respecting their customers.
I mean, our only way to make them be responsible is not pre-order, not rush to buy their products as quickly. That's the only way we can teach them a lesson.
Yeah.
I agree 100%, Ron. And it's like this. And let me bring an example from the sporting world. Okay. You guys know I'm from Pittsburgh. Okay. And I love my Pittsburgh sports teams. Unfortunately, the Pirates have had putrid ownership, do a fire sale every year when they get a good player and get rid of him. And, it's just like, people have talked, let's boycott the games. And I'm like, well, you know what? That's all well and good. And it's a great idea and it would work. But, okay, you're going to have how many, a few hundred people are going to say, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go to the games. It's the same thing here. If we could get, a strong enough presence out there, we could probably make a dent in it. But there are going to be several people that are going to go out there and say, we're going to go ahead and do the pre-order kind of thing. But, I agree. If there was a way to shut that down, that would stop this nonsense, okay? Because these companies like Hubsan and Fimi and Autel, if you're prepaying for this drone, okay? I prepaid for a ham radio, okay? And it ended up, what was real interesting was I found a guy out in California has a small mom and pop ham radio store. I bought it through him from PayPal. I had it delivered. I had it within a week. The other ones were talking about like 2.5 months. I had it within a week. It's the same thing here. Okay. If you can find a way to shut this down, and shut them down, they're going to stop the shenanigans. Okay. They're going to have to say, look, we have accountability to these people because you know what? I'm telling you, I'm kind of sick and tired of your Hubsans and your Fimis asking for a full price for a drone. And it's not only 4, it's 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks before you see the product.
When they ask for your money, Bill, they haven't even made the drone yet.
Oh, I know.
They've made a nice video.
Oh yeah. It's like, it's like, what was the site called when it started out for source funding?
The Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. Yeah. It's like, these are all like Kickstarters. Okay. And you know, and that freaking infuriates me. Because
What about Parrot? What if they would have stayed? I mean, the you know, the Nafi. I know, Marcus, you have it, and I know it's the range is kind of short, but man, the camera is that's a really good flying drone.
And
in the era,
features.
in the era that the camera was very competitive in the era that came out in. The year
Yeah.
it came out, it was a very competitive camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, to your thing, why don't they take that you know, the new version of the Nafi, the Enterprise one? Why don't they take some of the you know, the features consumers don't need away and cut the price down and release it as a consumer drone?
You would think they would be smart enough to try that, considering how well the Anafi sold.
absolutely.
Yeah, especially if they see what the other, I mean, like Hubson and you know, Autel are doing. It'd be like an easy little market to make a Mini that works comparable to the Mini 2, and you know.
Well, here's what I think, Johnny. I think I can answer that. I suspect that the reason that Parrot got out of consumer drones is because of the customer service aspect of it. You know, it is pretty intensive, and people get frustrated with technology and they just return it. So you have all of that cost. So
Yeah.
that's kind of, I kind of reading between the lines when they were first got out of the consumer business. I kind of think that that's where what they were talking about. Plus the fact that DJI was so dominant.
Yeah.
You know,
They knew they couldn't. They knew they didn't stand a
Yeah.
chance.
So Marcus, you do have the Nano Light. What do you? Oh, you have?
I have the Nano Plus.
Okay.
The I can't remember what they call their Fly More package, but their Fly More package ordered. So
Now
I'm
you
looking
haven't heard
forward to it.
you haven't heard anything in the last couple of days.
Yeah, I got an email today. Yeah.
Okay, about the
Yeah,
same
they
one
said-
that somebody
They
posted.
said, "Hey, we're going to ship it, man. Yours, it's ready to go. We
And-
can't
and
give you a
then-
tracking
Marcus-
number. We can't give you a tracking number. We're too
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we're going to ship it."
Did you get the picture of this whole stack of?
That's what I got.
all
Yeah, I
drones,
shipped that to you, Ron. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
stack of what?
They
Drone.
had a publicity picture where it's like a warehouse and there's just stacks and stacks of Autel drones
Really?
in boxes.
All
They
right,
could
well,
be
this
all
is
empty
coming-
boxes. For
Maybe
all
I'm about
we
to say
know.
maybe it's just empty boxes. Yes,
But it
they
looked
got them.
impressive.
It's cheaper to
we're
get a
just
box
waiting.
made
We're
than
just
a,
waiting
than
to
a
fill
drone.
them. Yeah, we're just waiting to fill them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey,
All right,
Bill,
I got a
Marcus-
commercial interruption here. All right. For the first 10 people that email me, you have to live in the United States, okay? First 10 people that email me at Build a Drone Reviewer with the word sticker in the subject, I will mail you a Bill the RC Reviewer. It's a great day to fly sticker. It's great on your car. If you have a bigger drone, it'll fit on there. It'll fit on your drone case. It's fantastic. First
All right,
10
wait a
people,
minute.
What's that
What-
email address?
What was
Bill?
the email, Bill?
Bill the Drone Reviewer at gmail.com.
That's pretty
Damn, I'm
easy.
jumping all over that.
Okay.
crap.
All
You
right.
got a question in the chat there too, Bill.
Well, all these guys, all of you on the panel, I will just send me your address. You will get one of these stickers. Okay.
Oh hell, I'm sending an email anyways.
You better send original Dobo one since he pimped your channel in his
did.
last video.
He
Oh,
did.
Oh yeah, I will definitely. He is.
Yeah.
He's.
Coffee tastes much better in a Build a Drone Reviewer coffee
Yeah.
mug.
Oh, I know.
No, was that what they call a placement ad?
That was a placement ad. That's for sure. Well, no, it's like I bragged about his mount for the Triple Tech, even though I don't have a tablet anymore. That mount was gold. Okay, for the Triple Tech, it was. He nailed it with that. I mean, seriously, that was just absolutely fantastic. I mean,
Hey, Bill, I asked you for a share whenever you.
sure.
Yeah, and I'll.
And Lauren's calling discrimination on have to live in the U.S.
Tell me when you got it, Bill.
Those Canadians, they're crazy.
Yeah, go ahead, Marcus.
Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. This is the email that they sent, and this is the boxes of drones. Thank you for your patience. We're now getting your order ready to be shipped. We need to handle a large number of pre-orders
Just,
within a tight time. The tracking
Okay.
number may not be sent.
just the fact that they're sending you pictures of boxes drives me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
company does that?
That one.
That
Like a mom and pop company, yeah.
Like, what? Oh goodness!
Like the Ron
I
Brown
gotta be
company.
honest with you. I was insulted. I really was. I was like, Yeah. Anyway.
You should have emailed him back, Mark, and said, "Can I take the third one on the left there? I want the third box as well."
Yeah.
That one's probably only got the user manual in it.
I tell you what, you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
No, you can't. And
Right.
well, here's the thing also too, talking about CES, all right? And that's coming up. And usually there would be a lot of buzz. There would be a lot of excitement, especially for us, as far in the drone world, because obviously, DJI was going to be there. Well, they're not going to be there this year. So, that kind of like opens the door for Autel and some of these other companies, but almost always Hubsan says no. You won't find Fimi there. You might find Unique there. And then
X Dynamics, I think, is going to be there again this year.
Yeah, X Dynamics will be there. And I've talked to Jeff Voigt, my good friend. He got the V-Wing and he loves it. Okay. Just, straight up. That thing is just, it's solid. I mean, it's surprised the daylights out of people. I would say that's probably the surprise drone of the year, because everybody thought that thing was just going to crash and burn. Okay. The way it looked and everything. But no, it's not like that. I mean, it's totally, something that's doable. And who would have thought, because, all we saw before it actually came out was it flying in cages. We never really saw it.
I got to fly and spin up, and I'll tell you what, I loved it. I actually shot Ken Herron a email, said, Ken, if you ever think about getting rid of it, hey, would be interested. Of course, he said he wants to keep it, but I tell you what, it flew really good.
Yeah,
I'm impressed. I am really impressed with that. I mean, and
it flies just like any other drone.
It does.
Yeah. Which is, and everybody was like, no, it can't fly like that. You're going to have problems. No, it's just like, it works. And what it does well.
Saying it just works is a bit of exaggeration. It took Ken about a half hour of fiddling with the software before he actually got in the air. But once he got in the air, it was great. It just took a lot of fiddling to get it going.
Well, the other thing is, if you watched his most recent video about it, the way you have to update the software, you have to do it on a computer. And he goes,
a Windows computer, yeah.
Yeah, what he said is you'll get out in the field. It will not fly without an update, but you can't simply update it through the app. You then have to take it home, update it on your computer, and by then you've burned through half the battery anyway.
You're going Hubsan Zeno 3 years ago.
Yeah, except for the Zeno, Ron would let you fly even without updating. This will not let you fly. So
yeah.
Well, and I have to say something else too. With all this, there's talk already, and I'm seeing in a lot of circles, and there's been a lot of rumors about an Inspire 3 next year. Okay.
Yes.
I'm like, okay. Listen, Bill. Ron and I are taking orders for that right now.
Yeah.
So if you want to send,
you just send about $5,000, and if it costs more than that, you can send the rest later.
That's a deposit. $5,000 is a deposit.
$5,000 is safety deposit.
In 90 days, you'll receive a picture of the box.
A picture of the box and a PDF of the manual.
Yeah. And if you ever email for an update, we're always going to just say it's coming soon.
In a picture of the UPC on the box.
Yes.
Well,
and have it wrapped in shrink wrap. Okay.
Lauren said it's coming. You won't like the price, and
he says I don't think anybody. Your budget, Bill.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Lauren, I believe you 100%. And I'm thinking this thing's probably going to start. I'm going to say, like, without cameras and attachments and things, it'll probably start at about 10. Okay. Strip. And
I agree because the Sony AirPeak is at $9,000 without a camera.
By the time you start adding camera and all the options and everything, you're going to easily be over 20K.
I say, Bill, load up with all the bells and whistles over $20,000. Huh?
It's like, okay, I could buy a car for what I could buy an Inspire 3 for. I mean, that kind of thing. That's where it's going to be at. I mean, it's going to be great.
But reality, back to the thing. I mean, everybody will want an Inspire 3, but not that many of us really need it per se.
Yeah. Okay. And once again, I went to this when everybody got all bent out of shape about the Mavic 3 Cine, and that's the only way I can get that smart control and everything. So I need to get the Cine. No, you don't need the Cine here, folks. because you're in another ball league. You're another ballpark with that. Okay. That's not, it's out of your wheelhouse. It's out of really for all of us on the panel.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
out of our
absolutely.
wheelhouses. Okay. Because you got to have the processing power on your computer to handle something like that. Okay. Everybody goes, oh, it has 1 terabyte onboard storage. I said, that's nothing. Okay. For what it does, that's absolutely nothing. Okay. And you're going to be spending all that time downloading stuff off the drone onto your Mac. Okay. And you have to have a pretty beefy Mac to handle stuff like this. So
One of us does. One of us has a nice new Mac.
It's right over here. I'm on the old Mac now, but what Bill was saying is, can you imagine putting a 1 terabyte worth of ProRes files in, say, your 5-year-old computer, your old, like, kind of off the shelf 5-year-old computer, see the smoke coming out of it?
Yeah, you're turning the crank to keep it going, kind of thing. I mean, yeah, that's what it's like. That's what I told people. I'm like, and with an Inspire 3, okay, all right, if you're a professional and you can justify it, and you have run a business and you can cost justify it, go for it. Okay. But I'll tell you what, it's like all these hobbyists. I'll give you an example here. Okay. Mavic 2 Enterprise was coming out, and I had this one guy, great viewer. I haven't seen him for a while, but it was like, okay, he really wanted to buy a Mavic 2 Enterprise. And I said, at the time, they were only being sold to like first responders and other organizations like that. And I said, you can't buy one. I said, why? I said, because they're only being sold to you have to have a certificate that you are with a first responder organization. Oh, I'm a first responder. I says, no, you have to be that organization. Okay. You can't buy it as an individual. And he kept insisting he was going to try and do that. And, and it was like, okay, and there's going to be people here that like, oh yeah, I want to get the Inspire 3 just for grins and giggles. Okay. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know about you guys on this panel, but I can reach into my pockets, but I can't pull 20K out of it in cash and say, here, go ahead and get me an Inspire 3. Okay.
Buddy, I can't even pull 20 grand out of the bank, let alone out of my pocket.
Well,
hey, but Bill, something we talk about all the time, though, most people are getting the Inspire 3 aren't just going in for giggles. They probably are already some kind of working professional.
Oh,
what they probably already have is they probably have Inspire 2 that they're going to sell off,
right,
to help fund that purchase, or maybe they have a Mavic 2 Pro enterprise model. They're going to have a drone of some value that they could sell to help fund that new
offset
work,
that cost.
new work drone.
Well, who I see here's an example who I see getting one and can cost justify it would probably be Billy, okay? Because he does this day in and day out. That's his job. That's his living, okay?
Of course, you ever watch his videos? He hardly ever uses the 2, the Inspire 2.
Not anymore,
not anymore. I know that.
The Air
But I mean,
2S was his main drone for a long time.
He used Air 2S as his number one drone, right? Even right now with the Mavic 3, he still said it the other night or the other day.
It's going to be all the LLC companies that'll be buying that.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're going to see, and it's going to be all these companies are going to eat this up.
I'm an LLC.
Get it? You're going to end up with.
Oh, you're going to have it. Yeah. Well, he's shaking his head no, but 12 months from now it'll be flying around the Snake River Canyon.
It'll be Snake River LLC.
Yeah,
and then,
that's what I'm talking about.
And then Marcus would be sleeping on the couch for probably the rest of his life. But
so, guys, what about the Mini 3? What drone? What will that bring to the table? I mean, you had the SE and you had the Mini 2, right?
See, that's a great point, Johnny, because once again, that Mini 3 has been tested, prototypes are done, they've thoroughly tested it. It's ready for production. Okay. You know that. Okay. And I can tell you this, it would outperform, let's say the Xeno Mini Pro did what it was supposed to do. Okay. I can tell you this, the Mini 3 will outperform that. I guarantee, take that to the bank and deposit that check.
So what's going to be one thing it has that, it'll bring to the table?
That, that's a good question. I think it's going to have 360 obstacle avoidance.
And Bill, it may come out before it may come out before the Nano.
I think it will.
Oh yeah, I agree. It will
Listen,
come out before Nano.
If it has 360 obstacle avoidance, that thing will be not just a home run. It will be a triple home run, World Series, all wrapped up in one. I hope you're right, Bill. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So will it be under 250 gram or will not be under 250?
I think it'll be
a
under
mini
250.
unless it was under 250.
I think they're going to find a way to do it under 250.
But the thing is, though, it's great that we have 360 obstacle avoidance, but what if what's that going to do to the battery life? I'd rather have no obstacle avoidance to fly for 30 minutes than have obstacle avoidance and go 15.
Rod, you can turn it off, brother.
The lithium ion technology these days, they'll have something that'll run quite a while.
I agree with Matt. Okay. Because
I
Go ahead,
was going to say to Matt's point, DJI did invest in their own batteries now rather than buy them. So I think Matt's onto something. I suspect that they'll probably have the most advanced batteries out there.
Well, they better because the Altel Nano only is advertising 28 minutes of flight time. But you say, 28 minutes is great, but we're not actually going to get that 28 minutes. That's going to be 20 minutes of real world flight time, and that's because of the obstacle avoidance. Robbing some battery life from that thing. So I hope DJI does figure that all out and
Rob, why don't you go ahead and show it? Just go ahead and show it while you're talking about it.
Bill, Ron's raining on my parade.
Well, Marcus, by the time it actually gets there, whatever the battery life will probably go up.
Okay.
Yeah, they may send you a new battery, like a pro version of the battery.
Yeah. And Mark, all you gotta do is when it comes, just turn off every smart feature it has, and it'll have more battery life. You won't have anything to review because it won't do anything, but you can turn all that stuff off.
Well, okay. Here's and talking about DJI, and that's a good point that you guys brought up about handling their own batteries, because look at the Mavic 3, the quantum leap in terms of the time on it and how they got it up there. All right. Because
the battery's not that big. It's not like they put a hunk of super battery in there.
This is real. This is really good because one of the times I had Rick Smith on and we talked about this, and I think both Ron and Marcus were on, and he said, there's only so much that you can do inside that limited space inside that battery. Okay. There's only so much given that you can do, but the technology has advanced now that you can get more out of that area than you did before. Okay. Also, too, the whole design of the Mavic 3, it's like the Mavic 2. They just, we're starting from scratch. Okay. And it's a longer body and it's a longer battery. So hence it's a bigger battery. So, and in my tests, when I got it down to like 2% or whatever, I had almost a full 30 minutes of runtime with that. Okay. And I know it's advertised for 45, but it's real world. Okay. Because I'm sorry, I don't consider a battery test. You're 15 feet off the ground and let it sit there for 45 minutes. That's not real world. Okay. Right. I'm out there, I'm shooting video, I'm flipping around, I'm doing things, I'm doing what you're supposed to do with that. Sure. Okay. So I'm getting a real world battery test. So I can see them getting a better battery life out of a Mini 3, because what they might do is just, stretch that body out a little bit, make it a longer battery. Boom. You're going to get that extra battery life. I mean, what? You get another 5 minutes? That's golden for that kind of drone.
Agreed.
Lauren just put.
Yeah, the FCC.
Okay, I think I know what that's for.
Pro, though.
I think I know what that's for.
It says it's the RC Pro, but
I think they're going to come out with a new version of it that'll be backwards compatible with their other drones.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he meant by that.
So they want you to buy a Mavic 3 and only work with that drone, and buy a newer version and work with the old drone.
Oh, it's
Is that
4G
kind of what they're saying?
I don't know. It's a 4G one.
Lawrence already talked about 4G, and you guys heard Billy Kyle told us a while back that the Mavic 3, I guess it's just the smart controller, is compatible. You could take a 4G chip in it, and you could essentially fly forever. Well, as long as the battery will go, if you stay connected to towers.
Okay, so that's what he's getting at. Well, but I thought you'd have to have that dongle. Is that correct?
But it's not going to be available in the United States, right?
Yeah, it's not. John,
right?
Not
yet. Oh, anyway.
I don't know if it's available anywhere yet. But
so I'm assuming that it's going to be for 4G service instead of having to run the smart controller off Wi-Fi.
That's kind of what I was thinking too,
Yeah,
Maddie.
yeah.
That's kind of where I went with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the same technology that Parrot has in the and off the Enterprise drone. They have a 4G, cellular chip in it for cellular
Yeah.
data, and it can fly. Range is no issue as long as it has connection to a cell tower.
Yep.
Exactly. All right. Well, one of the last things I wanted to do tonight before we wrap things up is someone will be the lucky owner of this brand new Bill the RC Reviewer mug. And what you have to do, and it will be the 5th person that emails me an email to buildadronereviewer@gmail.com with the subject mug. The 5th person will be the winner. Now, I'm going to post all the winners out on Build a Drone Reviewer
Now,
Facebook.
that US only again, Bill?
US only again, Ron. Thank you. I'll post it on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group and page, and we'll announce it next week too on next week's show. We're gonna have a different kind of show next week just to kind of celebrate the season here, kind of a thing. And I wanted to take a couple of minutes here and kind of explain some things. I know you guys have seen. I have shirts. I have logos. What we're doing is we're gonna have a name change for the channel here. All right, and first and foremost, okay, the first thing you see here, okay, I mean, there's a Phantom over here and there's a Mavic over here. This channel will always be about drones primarily, okay? That is just, that's just a given, all right? Now, what else we're going to be doing, and you probably see on here, okay, there's a plane and there is a 4x4 here, okay? We're going to do radio-controlled reviews as well, too, okay? I have several things. I got several planes out there. I have a Chevy Impala lowrider. Okay, this thing is just off the wall. Okay, that we're going to review. It's going to be fun stuff, and I'm doing this because I don't want to go ahead and have to think about a video. Think something up for a video. Oh, I'm going to do another Air 2S flight out over the garden kind of a thing and whatever, just to get a video. I don't want to do that. Okay. I want to get some creative content out there. And I know a lot of you guys also are into radio controlled vehicles. I know Ron is, I know Marcus is, and I'm sure a bunch of my fans are too as well too. So that's why I want to go ahead and do this and get some good content out there for some things. And also look at some of the accessories that come with that. There's some good battery technology, battery chargers. There's a lot that goes with this. So be looking forward. This is going to happen early 2022. I'm going to flip over the name, the T-shirts, everything. But, just because it says Bill the RC Reviewer here, okay, doesn't mean, we're going to be looking, Bill's switching. Bill's going
to folks, don't unsub Bill now. Don't unsub him. He's still going to be doing drones.
Yeah, we'll still be doing drones.
Absolutely.
So we're going to have Rotor Talk live every Tuesday night. That's not going to change, okay? And like I said, drones first and foremost will be on this channel. It will be those times, between releases, between software releases, and we've gone over features on a drone, where I'm going to go out, we're going to see some plane reviews. We're going to see some truck reviews, also see boats as well too. I bought a run cam, a 4K run cam with Velcro to mount on some of these things so that you're going to get a first person perspective. So that's going to be fun. So we're going to have a good time with this.
Nice.
But
looking forward to it.
Hey, who doesn't like a good 4-wheel drive RC buggy?
That's right.
No, they had some at Spin Up they were doing. I tell you what, they were.
I got to drive DeMarco's and Mike Wright. They had big, I don't know, they had giant 1/8 scales or whatever. Those things were beasts.
They were having fun, yeah.
And somebody was chasing them with an FPV drone.
Oh, that's an Impala. No, not me.
Oh, there's an RC.
Okay,
Chevy Impala
on individual wheels will go up. It'll ride on one side, right on the other side. Kick up back, kick up front, kick up all the way. Okay, this thing is just
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, can I get the full size scale version of that?
I would love to have one, Ron. I really would.
Ron, for a deposit, you sure can.
I'll put down $5.
Hey, Bill, I got to jump off, buddy. I got a show.
Okay.
I'm starting in about 10
right,
minutes.
Maddie.
Hey, Matt, do me a favor. Email me your address because I'm going to drop you not only a sticker, but I'm sending you, and Johnny, you too, drop me your address. I'm going to send you a sticker and a mug, okay?
Absolutely, man. Thank you very much.
Plug your show on the way out, Maddie.
I will be starting in 10 minutes on Maddie's Drone World on my channel. We're doing
Maddie,
Who's
you
late
and
going
your
with
show.
you
family
tonight?
have a Merry Christmas, my friend.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much. I
Merry
appreciate
Christmas,
it, buddy.
Happy holidays, and
Thank you,
you and
everybody.
your wife and your beautiful children.
Thank you, guys. Everybody have a good holiday, and
Merry Christmas,
I'll
man.
see everybody else
All right,
shortly in
Maddie.
about 10 minutes.
Oh, there we go. There's one of the beautiful.
Yeah,
things.
all
that
right.
That was one of them. She always does that. She's never camera shy.
All right.
All right. Good night, guys.
Right.
Good night,
Good night.
Maddie.
So I guess my Build the Drone Reviewer coffee mug is going to be a collectible item now.
It will be a collectible.
It's
and,
vintage. It's vintage. Yeah.
You guys will be getting a Bill the RC Reviewer mug as well. So, I'm almost positive I have both your addresses. So I'll be getting those out to you. And what's nice with this, when I'm getting this to you guys, I'll drop ship from the manufacturer. It's like I don't even touch it. I can just ship it directly. And that's how I got our good friend Stephen Ewing a mug, because he wanted one. So what I did was I just drop shipped from the manufacturer out to Ireland, and he got it. And
don't ship it yourself. At that post office, prices is going up greatly.
Oh yeah, and what was nice, it's like the shipping was very reasonable. It was through Vista.
People think the gas prices went up. Go try to ship a package and see.
Oh, I know.
Went up.
Trust me, gentlemen. Any closing thoughts for tonight? Marcus, go ahead. Go first.
You know what? Everybody just have a Merry Christmas. I hope you get that drone that you always wanted under the Christmas tree. And, the weather is probably not as good as it could be at other times of the year, except for you folks living in Florida and Louisiana. But get out there and fly your drones and post some videos, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Last year with the COVID, and this year maybe it's changing a little bit. I don't know, but hey, get out there and enjoy your family and enjoy the kids and fly your drone and fly what you have, and just everybody have a great Christmas.
Thank you, Johnny. Yes, I want to especially wish everybody in the chat who supports this show and supports the other drone shows out there too. I want wish you guys all happy holidays,
especially Drone Nation.
Yeah, shameless plug there. But I want to thank everybody. Said supports Bill and all the other shows. You guys are a great community. Appreciate it for all your support from you guys and the people in the panel tonight. Some of my closest friends in the community here always have supported me along my journey, through the drone world and YouTube here and whatever. So, hey, can I throw one little fast fact in before we?
Sure, go for it.
I did the firmware update for the Autel Evo 2 Pro. It got a app update and a firmware update, and the firmware update. Guess what it brought to the drone? 16x zoom. So I guess they're watching what DJI is doing. Now they have 16x zoom, and I didn't have both drones out to compare side to side. I'm just eyeballing it. Looks like it's about the same, kind of quality.
Wow.
A little fuzzy at that length, but for searching, for just searching around, it's good.
Awesome.
And I don't know if the Mavic 3 doesn't have panos at all, but I don't know about the Mavic 2 Pro. But they added a feature in the Autel Evo 2 Pro where you could take panos, but you could adjust the aperture on the panos. You don't have to do it in full auto. You can set your own aperture. So if you could do that with the Mavic 2 Pro, I never knew you could. I never tried it. So that was a pretty good feature because I popped it up to like a 4. Like 4 or 4.5 is kind of the sharpest apertures on Evo 2 Pro, and it did look a lot better when I changed the apertures. That's a good little feature. So
awesome.
Anyhow, that's my news tidbit of the day.
Awesome. Well, I want to echo everybody's sentiments. If you're driving, safe travels to everybody, and a very Merry Christmas to everybody. Spend time, enjoy family, friends. Hopefully. 2022 kicks the socks off of 2021 and 2020. We need a year that, that's just like, just go out and enjoy life kind of year. Okay. And let's hope that 2022 is one of those, and again, I'd like you to remember a couple of things, remember Jeff Voigt and, at the loss of his father, and maybe drop him a line on Facebook Messenger. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. And also too, my son-in-law, him losing that, friend of his to COVID, remember that family as well, because this is something that wasn't expected for them as well. But it's just wonderful, and we say it's a great day to fly, but you know what? It's just a great day, period. And that's how I'm going to close tonight, guys. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry
and
Christmas.
enjoy yourselves and have a happy and healthy holiday. And we will see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Take care. Bye.